Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. This week is packed with stuff that's fun to read. Gonna want to grab some comics to read before your turkey coma. Let's start with the DC guys today. This is your latest issue of Detective Comics, the one that launched Batman, the one that launched all of this. We love Detective Comics these days. A lot going on in this book. If you love the Mr. Freeze episode of the old Batman animated series, you're going to want to check out some recent issues of Detective. You know we love the Tom King stuff going on in Batman, but everything going on in Detective has been just as awesome. So if you're letting this one get by you, if you're a Batman fan, you're missing out on some great stories, great art. Love some Detective. Always lots of Batman to talk about, like Batman versus Ra's al Ghul, your latest issue from all-time great Bat artist Neil Adams. Good stuff there. Batman Beyond, number 38. Continuing the Batwoman Beyond stuff from the totally sold out previous number 37. I've been pushing this book from the very beginning. I'm a big fan of Batman Beyond, always have been. It's a great example of a lot of things, but most notably the range that they use with this character. Fun stuff there. Batgirl is one of your acetate books this week. Been talking a lot about acetate covers where you have one story on the cover and then another story on the inside cover. Cool stuff. Not going to spoil all of them for you, but everybody's going to have an acetate DC book this month. Fun stuff. And these kind of things give you an opportunity to check out books you might not be checking out, like Red Hood Outlaw. Fun stuff there. That's one of your many acetates, like Action Comics. Going to be a lot going on in these super books. If you have the internet, you might know that the upcoming Superman 18 is going to be really, really big. I've been pushing all this Bendis Superman stuff from the very beginning because it's awesome. You know I'm a big Superman fan, and Bendis is doing a great job with all of this. If you're not following along, pick up Superman 17, pick up this week's Action Comics. Like I say, a lot going on in the super books these days, like Supergirl. If you picked up last week's issue, you're going to want to grab this annual. Everybody into this infected Batman Who Laughs stuff. Justice League Dark with the Injustice League Dark. Another cool acetate cover for you this week. And The Flash, number 83. Another one of DC's biggest books. This is their big TV star. Everybody's already reading The Flash, so this one doesn't need much help from me. Much like Shazam, one of my favorite books. Yeah, it's been running a little late. The scheduling's been a little off on this title, but it's really good. Great stories, great art, great character. If you love the movie, or if you're a longtime fan like I am, you definitely want to get up on Shazam. Pick up some of those trade paperbacks or some of the previous series because they're back in print after a long time. Great time to be a fan of Billy Batson. And The Terrifics. One of my favorite books these days. I love me some Bizarro. I love me some Plastic Man, some Metamorpho. What a great team. What a great book this is. If you're letting this one get by you, you're really missing out. Pick up that first volume trade paperback, and you'll see why I'm always talking up The Terrifics, because it's awesome. Freedom Fighters, number 11. Brings you almost to the end of this super cool mini-series. Bringing back Uncle Sam and some of those guys. Martian Manhunter is your other mini-series of the week. Always great to see Martian Manhunter in his own book. Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Infinite Crisis. These Tales from the Dark Multiverse books have been really cool. Yeah, they're prestige format. They're a little pricey at $5.99, but you get these cool cardstock covers. They're doing all the big events from the DCU history in the Dark Multiverse. We've got Nightfall, Death of Superman, Blackest Night. Now we're getting Infinite Crisis. Great stuff. Always fun to see new looks at those big event books. Swamp Thing is your 100-page giant this week. Love these 100-page giants, and always looking for an opportunity to push Swamp Thing on folks. If you've been watching the show on the DCU, or if you're just a longtime fan, or maybe you don't know much about Swamp Thing, you should definitely pick this up. Again, grab that Bronze Age trade paperback, grab some of the Al Moore stuff. Swamp Thing is really one of the most unique and interesting characters in all of comics. Hellblazer gets a new book this week. That's your Sandman Universe book, along with Books of Magic in the formerly known as Vertigo universe. And then Last God, number 2. And Basketful of Heads are your Black Label books for the week. And this one is, of course, your Hill House book of the week. because Joe Hill's so cool, he gets 2 labels on his books. Big week for the DC guys. Lots and lots of great stuff. Pretty small week for the Marvel guys, but lots of big books to talk about. All the second issues of all this X-Men relaunch stuff is rolling out. This is Fallen Angels #2. This is New Mutants #2. And this is X-Force #2. Been saying it's a great time to be an X fan. Has been for a long time. You probably picked up all these first issues. Grab these second issues to give these titles an opportunity to find their ground and show you the characters and all that good stuff. If you don't want to get into, if you don't want to commit to all of this stuff, grab the House of X Black Cat Pack or the Powers of 10 Black Cat Pack, or just grab that X-Men #1 to get the gist of what's going on in all of this X-verse, and then pick up the side book that interests you. Venom #20. Wraps up the Absolute Carnage stuff. Everybody loves Venom, a little like the Flash. This one's probably already in your box, so it doesn't need much help from me. Scream, Curse of Carnage is the first thing to spin out of all of that Absolute Carnage stuff. Everybody's digging this guy. And Ghost Spider is your only Spider-esque book for the week. Since I'm talking about Venom, it was a decent time to mention Ghost Spider. Conan the Barbarian, $20.99. Along with Punisher $20.99, or a couple of one-shots to go along with what's been going on in Amazing Spider-Man, and go along with that $20.99 alpha that you picked up last week. Mentioned last week, I'm a big fan of the $20.99 verse, and it's fun to see them get all that going again. Fun to see Conan wrapped up in part of that. Fantastic Four, Negative Zone, brings out a couple of my all-time favorite things in comics. You know I love the Fantastic Four. Never miss an opportunity to talk up anything with Ben Grimm. But this one also has Annihilus, one of the best villains in comics, certainly one of the best villains in Marvel Comics, but someone you might not even know about, because they really don't do enough with Annihilus these days. He's bound to be one of the villains in the MCU right around the corner. So again, if you don't know much about Annihilus, if you don't know much about Blastar or the Negative Zone, you're definitely going to want to pick that up. That's just sci-fi greatness at its best. And speaking of the FF, here's your last issue of The Invisible Woman. Been really stoked to see Sue getting her own book after all these years. It's been a really fun and exciting story. This wraps it up. You can pick up the Black Cat Pack of all 5 issues if you've let that one get by you. Avengers #27. Saving the best for almost last. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the A-Team. This is your jump-in point if for some reason you haven't been taking me up on it and you haven't been following this run. It's been as good as the Avengers has been in a long time. So if you're a holdout, grab some of those trade paperbacks for the previous runs that you've missed, or just jump in on this latest issue, picking up with the Star Brand stuff. That's always fun. Black Panther. Another one of the best books Marvel does. Another one that's wrapping up its current arc. You can pick up the Black Cat Pack of 13 to 18 for the intergalactic world of Wakanda. And Dr. Aphra is your Star Wars book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to check out all the cool stuff Marvel's doing with their Star Wars line. Fun stuff there. And a great week for all the other guys too. You know I love talking up anything Mike Mignola. This is the latest issue of Witchfinder. It's not exactly a Hellboy book, but takes place in the world of Hellboy. Like I say, you know I never miss an opportunity to talk up anything Mike Mignola, because he's so brilliant at genre fusion. A little bit horror, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit fantasy. Great stuff going on from the mind of Mike Mignola. Invisible Kingdom is your burger book of the week, to show you that Dark Horse does a whole lot more than their property stuff and the Hellboy stuff. They've got lots of really cool and interesting creator-owned projects as well. East of West is your Image book of the week. This is wrapping up one of the really cooler, more interesting and different series that Image has done. I love dark, gritty westerns. Like I say, this book has been really cool, and even for Image Comics, kind of a little different, a little more out there than the stuff they usually do. So pick up the $1 reprint of the first issue, grab the first trade paperback, and dive into 44 issues of East of West, because that's been really great stuff. And Criminal from my man Ed Brubaker. It's your other Image book of the week, along with Philadelphia. You know I'm more of a Pittsburgh guy, but hey, it's still your first issue, gotta have an Image book of the week. Good stuff there. And Betty Page Unbound is my dynamite book of the week. You didn't know that Betty Page was a time-traveling super spy, but she is, and she has all kinds of awesome adventures. This Unbound has seen Betty as Red Sonja, Vampirella. Here she is as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. This book is fun, eclectic, interesting, totally different from anything else that you're reading right now. Grab that first issue and you'll see what I'm talking about. Star Trek Picard Countdown. It's my IDW book of the week because IDW is doing a phenomenal job with all this Star Trek stuff, and everybody's excited to see Picard coming back in new episodes. That's fun. Angel is my Boom Studios book of the week, continuing the Hellmouth stuff. Been talking up how Joss Whedon has taken all of his Whedon verses over to Boom Studios. Buffy and Angel have started all over again from scratch. So if you're a Buffy or Angel fan like I am, you're going to want to get up on these new series and see what's new, fun, and exciting about it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your other Boom Studios book of the week because you guys love the MMPR. And Rick and Morty is your Oni book of the week, along with Rick and Morty and Dungeons and Dragons, because you guys just can't get enough of these two. And a great week for the all ages stuff too. I know it's Thanksgiving weekend, but comics is getting Christmas started a little early. This is your Casper Christmas special. Nothing more fun than Casper the Friendly Ghost. Nothing more fun than a fun fusion of Halloween and Christmas. Everybody loves Casper. And My Little Pony gets in on the holiday special action as well. Always fun to get some holiday comics. Always fun when they do this in the all ages format. Looney Tunes and Uncle Scrooge, keeping it classic this week. Nothing more classic than Looney Tunes. Nothing more classic than Disney comics. Love the great job IDW does with all the Disney stuff. And speaking of great job, Marvel Classic Ant-Man is your IDW Marvel Comics teaming up to do some all ages stuff. Everybody loving Ant-Man these days. And Star Wars Adventures is your other Marvel Comics IDW all ages team up. I love me Star Wars Adventures. Been talking about this book from the very beginning. If you're looking for something light, something a little less apocalyptic than your usual comics, or if you have a young reader in your life, definitely want to be checking out the Marvel Action line, the Star Wars Adventures line. Great job from those guys. Lots and lots of great books to pick up this week to read over your holiday weekend. Speaking of holiday weekend, got to mention we got a whole lot of things going on for our big Black Friday weekend this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, huge sale. All the comics are going to be 15% off. Comics and trades, 50% off. Everything in the back issue bin, 75% off. Toys, t-shirts, everything non-comic and trade, 25% off. Huge, huge sale. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Friday, we've got Game of Thrones artist Mog Park coming down. That's going to be awesome. Sunday, we got Santa Claus coming to town. So bring the little ones out on Sunday to sit down with Santa and tell them what they want for Christmas. Lots and lots of fun going on all weekend long. So check the events page at black-cat-comics.com for all the info. And don't miss a minute of all the action. Tons and tons of fun going on. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at black-cat-comics.com. Check out the podcast on SoundCloud.com. Check out the YouTube page, the Facebook page. Check out the weekly newsletter. Or just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.